More than 4 billion people live across this vast continent called Asia, and we are telling their stories on this edition. Thailand's national sport, graceful, deeply rooted in the culture of the kingdom. A Shaolin master, not from China, but India. I'm Tony Cheng, and this is Assignment Asia. In Thailand, Muay Thai is a popular sport enjoyed by both the young and old. But it's also a brutal business where children get involved in vicious training sessions and competitive matches. With over 10,000 boxers registered under the age of 15, Thai boxing has once again come under intense scrutiny. It's Thailand's national sport, a graceful dance deeply rooted in the culture of the kingdom. But it's also a vicious fighting art and regularly practiced by children.
I think it's 200,000 or 300,000 because at present it's really popular.
But what are the dangers? After a 13-year-old was killed during a bout in late 2018, the practice of child boxing has come under the spotlight. And even if they win in the ring, a knockout blow later in life.
We as the academic person and see the result, we foresee the future of this kid. We should stop this thing.
It's fight night in the coastal town of Rayong. Everyone getting into the ring here is a child. Boys and girls, ranging in age from 8 to 16. They're Muay Thai fighters, Thai boxers. With its punches and kicks, Muay Thai is said to be the most vicious martial art. And the most effective. The boxers here may be young, but they have the same focus and determination as professionals. Their bodies shaped by a grueling training regime honed to make them fighting machines. Boxing is their life. The adults are in the audience, shouting encouragement, but they're not here for the boxing alone. This is a sport driven by gambling. As the rounds progress, the bookmakers take bets from the crowd. If one fighter takes more punches, his odds diminish. But the money keeps rolling in. Round by round, the betting frenzy increases, while the fighters in the ring focus on a victory by points, or better still, a knockout. Watching from the stands is 9-year-old Plum and his twin brother Plap. He was on the card to fight, but his opponent pulled out. His father, who travelled with his sons to the match, was sent a photograph showing the other boy's injury. And the harsh reality for these fighters is making money. That's often not the case. A child prize fighter can be the only breadwinner in the family. It's 5 a.m. in the northeast of Thailand. After driving through the night, the boys are straight back into training. Plum and Plap are both boxers, fiercely competitive inside the ring and out. But first, it's road work. They stretch the long journey out of their tired limbs. Then they set out with the rising sun on their usual route, past the local temple, the monks heading out to collect alms. In total, the boys run more than 22 kilometers every day, a half marathon. That's more than many professional athletes can bear. But this is about endurance and stamina, being able to go that extra mile. Then it's time to get into the ring. They belong to a small gym whose stable includes a couple of older fighters, but the focus is on the boys.
ก็จะซ้อมรอบเป้าครับรอบเป้ายกละ10 นาทีซ้อมคนละ2 ยกแล้วก็จะมีคนที่ไม่ได้รอบเป้าก็จะไปซ้อมกระสอบ
Do they wear head guards?
นักมวยครับไม่ได้ซ้อมไม่ได้ใส่ครับ
Isn't there a risk of injury?
จะเน้นให้ออกอาวุธมากกว่าสำหรับเทรนเนอร์ก็ออกอาวุธไม่ได้ออกอาวุธรุนแรงจะให้เด็กออกอาวุธกับเป้ามากกว่าฝึกซ้อมทักษะต่อยเตะแทงเข่าแล้วก็ศอก
But the boys are competitive. No quarter asked, none given. After the training, they get a quick break. All of this before most boys their age have even got out of bed. So why do they do it? Not surprisingly, both want to get to the top. And what about their friends? Then it's time for school. In their uniforms, wolfing down their breakfast, they seem just like two ordinary boys. But this is the exception, not the rule. The gym they train and live in is funded by a local businessman. His factory, pressing metal sheets for roofing, is next door. He employs the boys' mum and dad. The whole family's fortune is tied to their success. And he sees nothing wrong with taking in boxers so young.
แต่เด็กเนี่ยคือมันเป็นเด็กที่ใสสะอาดเลยเราเหมือนเราป้อนข้อมูลอะไรไปให้เขาบางคนทนเหนื่อยไม่ได้อย่างเงี้ยครับมันก็ต้องเลิกลากันไป
This is a business and the prize money goes to the parents. So to pay for the gym, he has to rely on a cut from the gamblers. This is a sport that runs, breathes and thrives on betting.
รัฐบาลไม่ได้มาอุ้มชูวงการมวยเขาอยู่ได้เขาก็ต้องอาศัยควบคู่กับคนเล่นการพนันครับเหมือนพวกตีไก่พวกอะไรอย่างเงี้ยครับชนไก่
At 3 p.m. school finishes. Kids come streaming out, their work done for the day. So what did the boys get up to? And how are they feeling? Some grab a treat on their way to the playground or off home. But not Plap and Plum. For them, it's another long run. About an hour in the blazing heat. It's relentless. Their bodies yet not fully grown, yet battered in the ring and pounded on the track. They never utter a word of complaint, but their coach says he's always on the lookout for fatigue.
เวลาซ้อมจะต้องอยู่กับเด็กตลอดเวลาจะดูอาการว่าเด็กรับได้ไม่ได้นะครับก็จะถ้าเกิดว่ามันหนักก็จะเบาลงนะครับก็คือจะต้องประเมินตลอดเวลา
Back at the gym, more bag work. Plap and Plum look very similar. They're identical twins, but they both have distinctive fighting styles.
คือเด็กทั้งสองคนนี่จะมีความสามารถต่างจากเด็กถนัดยอดเพชรเอกนี่จะถอยเก่งคือตั้งรับเก่งแต่ถ้าเป็นยอดเพชรโทนี่คือจะเป็นมวยบุก
This is really tough. These guys who weigh 20 kilos are really giving me a pretty good run for my money. Oh, wow.
The dedication the boys show is astonishing. Their whole lives are given over to training, sparring, and traveling to and from tournaments and competitions. How do they stay so focused? They both say they feel excited when they get into the ring for a major contest. But how do they feel when they're not so assured of victory? Don't they get scared? Mum and Dad are with them a lot of the time, but they're often on the sidelines. Don't they get worried when the boys fight?
เรื่องบาดเจ็บนี่มันก็มีนะแต่ว่าเราก็มีเราไม่กังวลเพราะเขาฟิตซ้อมอย่างนี้ทุกวันน่ะเขามีความชำนาญของเขาแล้วที่จะป้องกันตัว
And does the prize money make a big difference to the family?
เหมือนมันก็บางครั้งก็ช่วยได้มากแต่ว่าก็ไม่ค่อยได้เดือดร้อนส่วนมากจะเป็นฝากให้น้องเยอะมากกว่าบางทีเราหักไว้ 50% แล้วเขาไปฝากบางทีมันเหลือเยอะแล้วก็ฝากเข้าไปเอง
เขาบอกว่าเขาจะทำบ้านให้พ่อกับแม่
And what about long-term injuries, especially after the death of a young boxer in the ring?
มันก็ต้องคิดเหมือนกันทุกคนนะครับพูดถึงกังวลนะแต่ว่ายังไงล่ะ ก็เขาชอบอยู่ของเขาเคยบอกเขาก็ดูให้เขาดูเหมือนกันนะที่มีข่าวมีคลิปออกมาก็ให้เขาดูเขาก็บอกว่าเขาก็เหมือนเขามั่นใจเขาว่าเขาจะไม่เป็นอย่างนั้น
They might be confident, but they shouldn't be.
They make this kid really disciplined, exercise, train, go to school, and they have to do everything. And they just talk to this kid that whatever you are doing is very good. It makes you a man, and you will be the person who really pay the gratitude to your parents because you earn the money for your parents, for your family, and earn yourself the educational fund to grow up. So this kid, when you talk to them, they're really proud of what they are doing.
Dr. Jirapon has very different ideas about child boxing, a regular activity for hundreds of thousands of Thai children, especially those from poor rural families.
I think it's now 200,000 or 300,000 because at present it's really popular.
She's spent years researching what boxing does to a child's brain. The scans show quite clearly when compared to non-boxing children that over time there's a significant impact on brain development and growth. But the most disturbing discovery was comparing IQ tests.
And these are the most stunning. The non-boxer kid, they have 94, 94, and 95. From our boxer kids, less than 2 year experience, they dropped to 87 already, below low normal. And when they box for 2 to 5 years, it dropped to 86. And when they box to more than 5 years, dropped to 83. So I talked
That's
to the
more
guy
than a
who's
10% drop in IQ,
and he saw it.
barely enough to graduate from high school.
Gives you a thrill.
Yes.
I mean, that's the honest truth.
And these kids, they are the future of our country. They should be the one who have a healthy brain, healthy mind, and grow up to be a good citizen and be the fundamental basis of the country. But if you have this 200,000 or 300,000 kids with average IQ of 80 something, decreased memory, frontal lobe damage, parietal lobe damage, connectivity of the brain damage, but very good in combat skill. You think we get in the future of our country as the people that we should hope for? I think it's unacceptable.
But Dr. Jirapon's findings have been ignored by the boxing industry. Having spent the last month training hard, Plum is in the ring tonight. The crew from the gym have all travelled down to Bangkok. And Plum is taking on the boy who pulled out last time.
ดีใจครับว่าได้ชกครับมั่นใจมากน้อยแค่ไหนคะ100%ครับ
The boy's parents are there too, supportive as ever. They know about Dr. Jirapon's research, but they've never seriously considered taking their children away from boxing.
เขาก็มีโอกาสเป็นไปได้นะเพราะเขาทางวิชาการเขาก็มันมีโอกาสน่าจะเป็นไปได้แต่ยังไงมันเขาชอบอ่ะมันเลือกไม่ได้แล้วเพราะเขาก็เรียนปกตินะเกรดเฉลี่ยก็ปกติเพราะเขาก็ได้เกรดเฉลี่ย 3.7 อ่ะ 3.7 กับ 3.9 อ่ะ
Then it's time for Plum to get into the ring. He looks prepared and confident. His opponent, however, is subdued and nervous. This bout has attracted 400,000 bahts worth of prize money, $12,000, a record for his age range. And Plum knows how to play the crowd. He's a showman. But his opponent has a plan. Instead of letting Plum display his strong kicks and punches, the other boy gets in close. He disrupts. It's a scrappy fight, fought over 5 hard rounds. Both boys get in some hard punches. And as the rounds progress, so does the intensity. Plum takes a couple of direct hits to the face. He's in danger of losing everything. But in the end, his persistence pays off. After a unanimous judge's decision, he claims victory and the all-important prize money. The ringside betting has been furious, and the gamblers collect their winnings. The prize money will keep both boys in the fight game for some time to come. Neither yet shows any signs of damage or injury, but the longer they fight, the odds are that they will. They're developing brains and bodies, literally having the senses knocked out of them over time. And regardless of their success in the ring, that's a very high price to pay. Opponents say there are too few laws governing the sport, and Thai lawmakers are considering new legislation that would ban children under the age of 12 from getting involved in boxing. But critics say that children need to learn at an early age, and that these new laws, if enacted, could lead to the extinction of Muay Thai. Coming up next on Assignment Asia, training a new generation of Shaolin masters.
Stories of hope, triumph, innovation, and change. We uncover the truth and go great lengths to tell a story. Get to know ordinary people with extraordinary stories and see Asia from an Asian perspective. This is Assignment Asia. Expect the unexpected.
Culture Express. See the world in color.
In the past, Shaolin masters were virtually unheard of in India, but recently an Indian has made a name for himself as a Shaolin master. Kanishka Sharma's love of the ancient martial arts has even led him to start training a new generation of Shaolin warriors.
He was just 7 when his father's driver introduced him to Kung Fu. That began his love affair with martial arts that has lasted more than 3 decades now. This is the story of India's first and only official Shaolin master, Kanishka Sharma. Kanishka's passion for martial arts was ignited by an unlikely person. His father's driver, a big fan of Kung Fu, introduced Kanishka to movies and books that would leave an indelible impression on his young mind.
When I was 9 years old, 8 years old, he got this movie for me, 36 Chambers of Shaolin. When I finally saw that movie, and one of the scenes, the first scene of 36 Chambers, the monk is sitting and Gordon Liu, the main actor, he says, I want to join Shaolin. And the the monk, he says out and he does like this and Cornelius, flies in the air. That's the highest level of Kung Fu, like chi, without touching you can hit. So I was like, wow, yes, I want to do this.
A Shaolin warrior in India back in the 80s was unheard of. As life and adulthood took over, he pursued an MBA and later joined an Indian company. The love affair with Kung Fu was broken. Disillusioned, he found excuses to escape work and used his free time to learn Kung Fu in a local gym.
So my father said, why do you want to do this? He said, do something which you love doing and turn your passion into the profession, but be the best. And if you have to be the best, you got to go mad over it. These were his last few words. So after his death, I resigned and I came back and I gave my resignation to my mother and she freaked out. She's like, are you joking? I said, no, I'm going.
Initially skeptical, Kanishka's mother eventually came around to supporting him. This time, Kanishka knew he had to commit himself to his lover. His embrace of Kung Fu took him to the world-renowned Shaolin Temple in China. Training at the Shaolin Temple is not for everyone. 7 to 8 hours of physical, mental and spiritual training, demands of constant discipline and dedication, living in an unfamiliar land can all break even the most determined of characters. Kanishka had second thoughts. Homesick, he entertained thoughts of ending his love story.
During that time in 2001, 2, 3, 4, training was really hardcore. So I called my mom from China and, I almost had tears in my eyes because I couldn't speak Chinese at that point of time. I was away from home. That was the second time I traveled abroad after my MBA. And my body was paining. So I was wanting my mother to say, okay, fine, come back, it happens. But she's an iron lady. She just told me on the phone, don't even think of telling me that you want to come back. You better stay there and do what you wanted to do.
With renewed optimism, Kanishka fought through the tough period and successfully emerged as India's first Shaolin master, a dream he first had at the age of 7. Despite the ups and downs, he persisted. Kanishka is not a selfish lover. He wants to spread the love to anyone who wants to embrace it and inspire other people to change their lives through martial arts. This is his labor of love, the Shaolin Gurukul. Gurukul is an ancient Indian practice that requires students to stay with the teacher and learn. Started in 2015, Shifu Kanishka's camp is based on this Indian traditional teaching system. The journey to knowledge and enlightenment is arduous. But his students take the effort, trek up the hills and go through a rigorous training system. Kanishka's teaching style is in line with tradition. Here, it's all about combat and learning the Shaolin way of life. Kanishka teaches the traditional form of Shaolin that is all about the mind, spirit and body. And that's the reason why people from not just all over India, but also all over the world come here to this remote part of Indian Himalayas to learn it. Over the past 34 years, Kanishka has mastered many martial arts. He started with karate and then Kung Fu. This was followed by the Indian martial art Kalari Paitu. After that, he went to China's Shaolin Temple to learn northern-style Shaolin Kung Fu and then to the southern Shaolin sect to study a style called the 18 Lohan hands.
There are 3 facets to this Gurukul, which is similar to what I learned from Shaolin, which is Chan, Wu and Yi. Chan means Zen. So you do meditation, it's a way of life. Wu is martial skills. Because if you do too much of martial arts and there is no Zen, you become very aggressive. So balance your mind out, Chan and Wu goes together in Shaolin. Yi is medicine part. If you know how to hurt someone, you should know how to heal him. And I wanted people to come here, learn traditional system, experience, discover themselves here, go through the same training which I went and feel the difference.
Since training training at Shaolin Temple in 2001, he has traveled the world spreading the message of traditional Shaolin. He earned the name Xin Yan Yu, which means perfect, given to him by his master for his extraordinary skills. But what matters to him most is being able to promote Shaolin culture through the Shaolin group.
I think it is when the teacher wants to teach you and the student is ready. It is something else, it's magic. And the Shifu, the word means is teacher like father.
Kanishka has a close relationship with his students.
Before I was doing sports karate for about 3.5 years, but I was not feeling connected to it. Then I decided that I felt that I have to learn something traditional and this is my life. So after doing my graduation program, I just decided to come to him and start learning from him. When I first came and looked at him, it was like, okay, this is the teacher I was looking for. It was just the energy that told me that, okay, I'm in the right place.
2, 3, leaning forward jab, 1, 2, transition jab, 1.
He has the innate skill. With his entire experience, he's been able to master so many different martial arts and not just learn them for the sake of talking about it, but actually be the best in each.
To say that Kanishka's dream is an unusual one in a country like India would be an understatement. This is clear by the fact that he's not just India's first Shaolin master, but he's also the only official disciple of the Shaolin Temple in China. This means that this unusual journey has come with its own share of struggles. Kanishka follows a strict and disciplined daily routine.
I used to get up at 4:30 in the morning, sleep at 8:30 at night, I had my regimented schedule. So I didn't have friends, I didn't do party and stuff. So there's a lot of labor which went in. I had to sacrifice a lot what young people used to do.
Kanishka aims to be the best at what he does and strives for perfection. He wants to inspire more people to take up martial arts as a profession in a country where it is seen more as a hobby.
I never stopped learning. That is the secret of my being a martial artist and still sustaining in today's world and commanding that respect, because I always believe that respect is earned, it cannot be demanded. Thank you.
Despite the challenges, Kanishka followed his love, even if the journey brought with it countless sleepless nights and traveling to far-off lands. The Shaolin way of life includes a vow of a lifetime commitment to learning. Kanishka made this commitment when he was young and has remained devoted to the love of his life. For Assignment Asia, I'm Shweta Bajaj in Pangot, Uttarakhand, India.
Kanishka is also the first Indian to introduce Filipino fighting styles to India, and his unique creation incorporates all sorts of Asian fighting styles and street survival skills that are easy to learn and quick to deploy. Thanks for watching. That's all the time we have for this week. I'm Tony Cheng, and this is Assignment Asia. Share your thoughts and contribute story ideas for future shows by contacting us on social media.